Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with Dion from Dion Talk, folks. And if you don't know, Dion is narrating my second book, 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires. We're going to check in on the status of this. But more importantly, I want to ask him, what has he learned kind of going through this? Because reading a book, narrating it for Audible is not easy. He's had to go through chapters multiple times. So I love to hear what he's had to say. And of course, check in on status, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for bringing this up, Mike. So the update on the narration is I'm this far where this posted is. This much of the book is narrated. This is what's remaining. So I've got, I don't know, maybe a sixth left to do.
Nice.
And a quick update as to why this is happening. I found one rental at a time and was listening to the audiobook, and I had already basically reached financial freedom about the time I found the book. And I realized this was traditional lending, no secret sauce from the MLS, like get to 4 and your life changes. It was all the things that if I had the confidence to know someone else had done this and put it in a book, that the time it took to get there, I probably would have been faster or a lot less stressful. So I was really happy when I found it. I did a review of the book on my channel, basically saying in more detail what I just spelt out. And my one critique was, Audible used a robotic, automated voice that made it kind of hard to listen to. So when this book came out, I thought, my voice isn't great, but it's
better than that.
A robot. It's a little better than a robot, right? So I thought I'll narrate this. And then I found out that there's a million hoops you have to jump through with Audible on the sound studio, the sound, what your peaks are, what your floor can be, what your noise floor, the noise gate has to be. I had to learn all these things to figure out how to record it. And then found out that almost every building on the planet pops and creaks. So you can't record anywhere. I tried to record in Florida when I had the 2 months to go scuba dive, and the birds or the rain was always a reason why I couldn't record. So finding the time to do it's taken longer than I thought it would. But what I really liked was, and this is a takeaway for somebody, if they really have a book that you love that will teach you something about finances, narrate it.
Yeah.
Say it into a recording and then listen to yourself say it, because when you hear a sentence, you just hear the sentence. When you read a sentence, you just read it. But when you try to say a sentence you're reading, then the tone, inflection, intent of the sentence all becomes really clear. And I read it a couple times, but narrating it, I picked up more things from this book than I think listening to it 5 times probably would have gave me. And it's really simple concept things that stick.
Yeah. And again, again, I don't know if people realize writing a book for me is not easy. Some people it's easy. The first book, One Rental at a Time, was clearly for me. It was a way to kind of decompress our journey, which was good and bad. It's all in there. But the second book was entirely for my audience, right? And the idea for the second book was, okay, you know your story, but you've talked to now thousands of people. Go find 15 other unique stories from different situations, and just collecting those and getting them done was amazing. So did that come across, right? 15 different stories and things like that? It
did. What I really liked was, and it's something we say together sometimes, there's no one right way to invest in real estate, but there's a one right way for you. Mm-hmm. It's great to see the 15 different stories, because one of the reasons why I think the Three Amigos works is we had different starting points, different goals, different chronologies, all found success. All 3 of us found that financial freedom that comes from doing this different ways with different goals. And each one of the stories in here, like 15, you did a lot of research to find 15 that had not only different strategies, but their end goals were completely different. Yeah. And so that's the thing that I like, where people can pick a chapter that they identify with, or 2 or 3, and go over those a few times. I also took away from this some of the barriers that our viewers will bring up. Okay. They'll say things like, oh, there's no way I could house hack. I have a family. Like, the thing that should motivate you to want to house hack to reach financial freedom is the barrier. And there were, I'm trying to think, based on your goals, there are a lot of different strategies. If your goal is to grow a huge portfolio, recycling capital is a much more impactful than doing buy and hold, where you save up down payments. Yeah. If your goal was financial freedom so you could travel the country, that's a different goal than reaching financial freedom, where how much are you involved in it? And each one of these stories had something where and I only invest in my way,
Yeah.
it's buy and hold, small multifamily, haven't flipped, haven't wholesaled, haven't done a BRRRR, haven't done a rehab,
Mhm.
right? But I took something out of almost every one of these that I was like, that's a problem I dealt with too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to see other people dealing with those issues. And then looking at things that people think is a barrier.
Yeah.
Like their family or their income, or how do you get around having a low income? How do you get around having, I quit my job, I'm all in, I burnt the ships and I have to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm super happy I got the chance to narrate it, because it's helping me, and I'm hoping that my voice doesn't suck so much that it helps other people too.
No, I know it will. People are looking forward to it. The reason the first book was narrated by a robot is I tried to do it myself, and it wasn't going to happen. It's just wasn't going to happen. So,
well, if I could.
And oh, by the way, the robot cost me $5,000, just so you guys know. It wasn't cheap.
No, I bet. So I'm going to see if I can share my screen here.
Oh, I give you access.
I think I can, if you give me permission.
I did.
What I want to do is just show. I'll share my screen in a second as soon as you give me permission.
I did. I gave you permission.
Okay. I'm just going to open up a random thing here. Okay, now let me go back to Zoom and share my screen. Which, if I need a 10-year-old here to do this for me. Share screen. GarageBand. So this is one of the chapters. And what is rough is, you see all of those bottom lines?
Mhm.
That is every time you start or stop talking, the recording studio makes a pop and a hiss. So you record, and every time you've stopped, you have to go back, edit out the change, record a sound bite to cover the gap. So it's not just, I'm going to read it, and here's your audiobook. You have to read the sentence with the right tone and inflection, and then go back and then fix this. So this is why I guarantee Audible used a robot, because it was easier. And if somebody was to ever, narrate a book for Audible, there's a reason why they make thousands of dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I have to figure out how to stop sharing. There you go.
There you go.
So it's 5 hours probably to make a 20-minute.
Wow. Wow. Wow, it's amazing.
I'm getting there.
It's amazing.
This much to go.
Yeah, I think you gave me chapter 13. I think there's only 15, and then maybe I did a summary. I'm not
There's
sure.
15, then you have your
Extras.
experts,
Yeah.
and then summary, and a couple things at the end there that I'll cover. Closing statements.
Yeah. So again, the purpose of this book was 15 cool stories. I really don't think I didn't create this book where you would go, all 15 stories speak to me. That was not the intent of this book. My intention is you go through it, you dog ear 2 or 3 chapters, and you just devour those. Because what was the problem I was solving for? I was trying to solve for Mike Zuber, year 3, year 4, while it's going slow and it's sucking. I wanted belief that it would finish. That was the thing I was trying to solve for. That's why this book exists, because I needed something to believe in. So I tried to create 15 stories plus the original that hopefully you can latch on to, because again, it's financial freedom is out there. 10 years to make work optional. The first 3 to 5 years are just slower than all of us want. Was slow for me, was slow for you. So that's why the book is there. I hope you enjoy it. Dion, thank you so much. I know the audience will enjoy it. Any closing thoughts, and where can people find you?
You can find me right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom. And I think closing thoughts is, I don't know about Audible because they're so picky, but I think if this is successful, I would like to record your first book and have you put it on your YouTube channel. Maybe.
Ooh, we'll talk about that. I like it. All right. Thanks, Dion.
Ciao.